if I didn't get automatic results, it wasn't enough. And everyone who goes to the gym knows that's not how it works. Hello. I hope everyone is doing amazing on whatever day you are watching this on. I hope you are doing great. Today, I'm going to be talking about the top 5 reasons why I got fat. And you already know that by reading the title of this video. Actually, let me give some background. When I was a sophomore in high school back in 2022, I weighed around 180 in, let's say, May. So at the end of school. Fast forward to July 2023, I weighed 240, almost 250 actually. I think the peak was 250. That is a jump of 70 pounds in a 13 to 14 month range. That is incredibly unhealthy and that is horrible. So I'm going to tell you why that all happened. I got a list here, so let's start. Number 1 was the amount of calories I was eating was insane. I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here because I kind of have to. But basically, I was eating an absurd amount of calories. I don't even know how many calories I was actually eating. It's absolutely crazy to think about, but I'll just go through my day in a whole and talk about that. So let's start with breakfast. As soon as I wake up, first thing I'm going to, cereal. Automatically cereal. My favorite cereal, Reese's Puffs. Didn't have it for some reason. Never had it. My favorite cereal of all time is Reese's Puffs. For some reason, we never had it in the house. I don't know why. What we did have is Cinnamon Toast Crunch. I would have Cinnamon Toast Crunch in a big ass bowl, like a salad bowl's worth of Cinnamon Toast Crunch. Big old gallon of whole milk, bro. Not a whole gallon, but a lot of milk. Fill that bitch up to the rim. You know, like when you pour milk into your bowl of cereal and you see the milk and you see the cereal start to rise up with the milk. That's like usually your indicator to stop. Yeah, I would do that with whole milk. I would have that. And if I was craving more, I would have more. So already a massive amount of calories for really nothing. Just right away as soon as I wake up. Like then I go to school because I'm in high school at this point. And before class, we have breakfast. They serve breakfast at my school for free. I grew up in a smaller town. I don't know if anyone else does that, but I would have a breakfast sandwich, a carton of True Moo chocolate milk, and apple juice, and a box of apple juice. I'd have that down. This is at 9, and I woke up at 6:50. So that at 9, I'm having another fucking meal. Now we get to lunch. And lunch was around 11:45 to 12. I forget what time. But here we go. Now, lunch is crazy. I would go to the store. My local grocery store had deli and they had a bakery. What I would do, this is my classic, 3 big ass chicken strips. I don't know where they were getting these pieces of chicken from, but they were huge. 3 big ass pieces of chicken. And then I would get a big portion of potato wedges. I don't know how many, probably half a pound of potato wedges, just big old, if you know what potato wedges is, it's like a fry but bigger. And I would also get with that a pizza stick. And a pizza stick is basically a homemade Hot Pocket that the grocery store made. And then I would go over to the bakery and buy myself a donut, drop by the drink section, grab myself a Pepsi and go pay. And that was actually before the Pepsi, I would go and grab a bag of candy and then the Pepsi, and then I would go pay, and I'd go to my car and eat everything besides the candy, and I would save some of the soda on purpose. So that's an absurd amount of calories right out the get-go. In between classes, after lunch, I would eat that whole bag of candy, and then comes the last class of the day, which we called mentor class. It's like a class to do homework. It's like an hour class to do homework. It's bullshit. But they have vending machines in the school, and I would be hungry again somehow, and so I would go and grab whatever from the vending machines, usually a Code Red Mountain Dew, some sort of chips, and a candy bar, and I would down that. And by the way, I'm not doing any physical exercise. I'm not doing any physical exercise at this time. Bare fucking minimum. I'm probably barely getting 5,000 steps a day just existing, just walking around. And it's crazy because I wasn't in the gym at this point. It's absolutely crazy what I was doing. And then I would go home, and as soon as I got home, most likely another bowl of cereal. Just another bowl of cereal down the hatch, like a fucking chaser at a frat party, just down the hatch. It's absolutely crazy. And then before dinner, I would just snack. I would snack on whatever, really, whatever was around. Open up the pantry in the kitchen, just something here, something here, something here. And then open up the fridge, something here, something here. The only reason I'm not hungry at this point. I'm bored. That's the reason why I'm doing this. I'm just bored. And then I would go from all that snacking, to dinner, whatever dinner was. And most likely I would have all of dinner. And then to finish it all off, I would finish my day with ice cream. And then that would be it. I would do whatever else for the rest of the day, and then I would go to bed. So already in a massive caloric surplus. Massive, massive, massive. Just in the whole day throughout. From breakfast to dinner and dessert at the end. I don't know, like, the time frame of when I stopped eating to when I would eat. I was doing this, like, I wasn't conscious when I was doing this. Like, what is it called? Like, I was subconsciously doing this. I was just eating. And because I was bored, that's all I was doing. I wasn't actually thinking of what I was putting in my body. And that's what led to this massive amount of weight gain in such a short time frame. 70 pounds. That's crazy. I'll throw up some pictures of what I used to look like on screen. It's absolutely crazy. Just absolutely absurd. Anyway, number 2 was, I kind of mentioned this in the number 1 talking point, in my first talking point, but it was a low activity. So besides football besides football from August of 2022 to November, I was doing no physical activity. That was it. So I was doing no physical activity. Besides a few months where I played football, which that is a physically active sport, I wasn't doing anything. I wasn't in the gym. I wasn't counting steps. I wasn't doing anything. And I was doing this subconsciously. And it was crazy. I just had no care. And I just had such low activity that the pounds just started racking up. It's just absolutely crazy just what little it takes to gain that amount of weight. Like, if you really just don't try, eat whatever you want and like eat in a calorie surplus and just don't try in life, it's so easy to gain weight just because you're just not thinking. You're not thinking about what you're putting into your body. You're not thinking about anything besides just basic ass tasks to make it through the day, just to make it to another day. Like, you're not living when you live like that. Number 3 was, this is a big one for a lot of people, and it was for me, was binge and restrict. I would do that sometimes. So there would be some points, so I'm kind of contradicting myself here, but there'd be some points where I would be a little concerned of how much weight I was gaining. So I would really cut down on food. Like, there'd be like a day or two where I just wouldn't eat. And like, I would just starve pretty much. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'm doing a good thing. I'm fasting. Like, when you fast, you kind of prepare. Like, if you're doing if you're fasting for a certain amount of time, you will have a lot of water and electrolytes in that water to keep up your energy levels so that you can feel okay. I wasn't doing that. I was just no eat, be fucking dehydrated, and whatever else. Like, I was just straight up hurting myself, just making myself suffer, because there'd be times, like what I said, like, I would feel horrible. Like, I would look at myself and be like, I don't like that. And so I would restrict and then crash and binge. Like, it never worked out. Like, restricting really hard always for me led to the binge. And then that binge led to not just a few days, maybe like a week of just binging, and then just slipping back into subconscious mode, and then just finally just a month, maybe 2 months down the road being like, oh, I don't like how I look, and restarting that cycle. It's a very toxic cycle, and that's what led to a lot of the weight gain, because I was thinking I was losing weight doing that restrict period, like fasting for a whole day or whatever, and in reality I was losing nothing but water weight and then gaining that weight back in like a week, then gaining all that back in less than a day. So yeah, it was crazy. Number 4 is snacking. I love snacking. Well, this isn't just snacking. This is also eating habits as well, is what I'm going to call this. But basically, I eat when I'm bored. And I did that I did that often when I was that big. I would just snack on whatever. Just multiple trips to the kitchen, open the pantry, grab something here, maybe like a handful of cereal. Cereal again, I know it's crazy. Something here. Open up the fridge, something here. Who knows, right? Just snacking all the time. I love snacks, and I still snack sometimes now. I'm way better at it, as you can tell, but like I still do that, and it's just crazy, like what I was doing, like the amount of food I was eating just in snacks, just while snacking. Number 4 is a bit smaller, but the eating while I'm bored is just so hurtful. And it's just so harmful. Sorry, not hurtful. It's just so harmful because what can go from snacking to basically like the calories you eat when you snack can count up and basically be a full meal. Like, it's crazy how fast snacking can add up, and it always added up for me because I've always just been a bored eater. I'm always like, whenever I'm bored, go check the kitchen, go to this, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, it's really bad. And last and not least, number 5, it is lack of discipline. And this one's a little bit more, this one's really, I don't want to say sensitive, but it's pretty, it's really close to me because when I was a kid, I wanted to be like an athletic kid, I wanted to be like skinny. I want to be like a skinny kid. I don't know why I had that in my mind that like skinny was better. Because I remember when I was a kid, when I first stepped on a scale and weighed myself, and I was like 100. And another kid told me he was like 70 pounds or something. I felt horrible. I cried to my sister because of it. I just always had this in my head that like I wanted to be the super skinny person. But then I was 100 pounds when I was like 9. Like 11, I was always a big person. I've always been a bigger guy. So yeah, I just always wanted to be like skinny, I guess. And then when I wasn't skinny, when I was bigger, I would blame it on anything else but me. Lack of discipline. I always thought it was just my body, and I was kind of told that by my family. Like, that's just how our family's built. That's just how we're built. And genetics play a role to a degree. They play a role to a degree, but they don't dictate everything. But I would have times where I would go to the gym for like a week, maybe 2 weeks, really hitting hard, really feeling good, and then I would just fall off, and then I wouldn't go to the gym for like a month, maybe 2 months, and then all of that hard work for the last week and a half, maybe 2 weeks, just down the drain, just gone. Like I wasn't gaining anything. Like, I was getting no benefit out of the gym, and it just sucked because I just had no discipline. I would wake up to like an early alarm, and I would just silence it and go back to bed. Like, I would tell myself, like, I need to go run. I need to get in shape for football. This football season's coming up, and I would go to bed. I would wake up to my alarm and silence, and just, I had no discipline. I had no drive. I had no discipline. And not just that, the lack of accountability, just not taking accountability for what I had done to myself. I had it in my head that I was just, that this is just the way it is. My body is going to be this way forever. Or like, I was just going to be this way forever. I was going to look this way forever. And there's nothing I was going to do, because whatever I did, whether it be restrict and like fast for a day or hit the gym hard, it just didn't matter to me. Like, if I didn't get automatic results, it wasn't enough. And everyone who goes to the gym knows that's not how it works. You have to be consistent. I couldn't be consistent. So that led to me falling out of the gym and gaining a lot of weight. So it's time we wrap this up. How's that sound? I'm just going to leave you with some take home points. Your body's not finite. You know, like, we live in a society where we think we can never change, and certain things is just the way that they are. Like, they can never change. And that is farther from the truth. You can always change. You will always have the ability to change. Because I used to feel trapped, and if you convince yourself that you can never change, you will never change. And you will always be in a spot that you will hate. But you just have to know that you can always change. And while it might not be easy, it is sure as shit worth it in the end. And you will thank yourself for doing so. Yeah, but take care of yourselves. Don't do what I did. Anyway, I hope you all enjoyed, and I hope you all have a wonderful day today, and I will see you all in the next one.